Hey guys, Jeffries here and welcome to a test run of my new capture card software. As you know, Christmas has quickly come and gone and I received a fantastic present from my brother, which was a capture card. So what I've done here is, this is a career mode that I've had going on FIFA for a while. You might remember my Fleetwood career. It didn't really go very well because I was filming off a screen. The quality was awful. It really didn't look very good. This, however, is through the capture card, so it should be a lot better quality for both sound. Well, I can actually have sound now, which is brilliant, and also for picture quality. This is a career mode I've done with Portsmouth over the last, well, basically since I got the game. It's a little play around one that I was doing. I've managed to get them into the Premier League, so what you're watching here is me doing a live commentary of a match. I think it's my third in the Premier League, where I think I drew my first game 0-0 and then I lost my second game 3-1. So this is my third game and I'm trying to get my first win of the season. This is my team. I probably won't linger around going through it too much. I'll point out a couple of players. That's Alphonse Areola, who I've got on loan from PSG. Danny East is already at Portsmouth. He's also appeared in my Foot Manager career. Sonny Bradley, who's also at Portsmouth for real at the moment, and Marcus Painter, Simon Ferry. Those are the only original Portsmouth players I think I've got left. That's Nico Yanaris, who is he was on loan from Arsenal to start with, but I signed him on a permanent transfer. That is, what's his first name? Attila Fiola, who's a pretty decent centre-back. He holds the line well for me. That is, of course, Tim Payne. He is one of my elusive players on Football Manager, but on here I did sign him on a free transfer. At the same time as I signed someone else who you'll see very shortly. This is Mark Taylor, who came through my youth academy. That is Marwin Mawson, who's a pretty decent centre-forward, actually. And this is Aaron Partington, who I signed on a free transfer. But, I mean, just look at those stats. They're pretty impressive stats. Even those ones are pretty good. Got 4-star for weak foot, 3-star for skills. So again, that's not too bad. And then on my bench, I've got Dogby, who I got from Fiorentina, I believe. Brientha, who was a free transfer. Alpshi, who was a free transfer. Suarez, who I had on my Barnet career, you might remember from FIFA 13. Pedro Azog, who is on the bench now. He doesn't quite fit into my system at the moment, so I'm sort of debating what to do about him. Matt LeQuint, again, for those of you who watched my Barnet career, you'll remember him. And Jean-Marie Dongu. I assume that last name is Safak, something like that. I haven't mentioned him much on any of my football series, but in real life, I'm a bit of a fan of his on these games. I sign him on Foot Manager as much as I can, and I try and sign him on FIFA as much as I can, and that's why he's popped up here. And then I've got other players in the reserves who I don't really mind about them. So anyway, I've wasted quite a lot of time now, so it's only fair really that I actually get into a match. So that's what we're going to do now. Just deciding. Nah, I'm not going to do skill games. I'm going to ignore skill games. What's the point of doing skill games? Get straight into the match.
Welcome to EA Sports live coverage of the Premier League.
Skip all this stuff. Let's do kickoff.
Your commentary team.
You see, we're playing at home, Fratton Park. It doesn't look anything like Fratton Park, but I just chose one that was the closest.
It's Alan Smith.
Great to be here.
Just trying to get into the game, trying to get settled, get a little system going. I'm just going to turn down the volume on my TV actually, because I don't think you want to hear this match being played twice. Right.
To raise the confidence and kick back from that.
Here we go. So Mawson to Ferry.
Taking charge of this game.
Let's test their defence. That's probably giving us offside. Yeah, that's giving us offside. Good save from the keeper though. Pretty decent shot from Partington.
The flag has gone up.
There might be a bit of a time delay, actually, looking at it between the audio and the picture, because I think there's about 3 or 4 second delay between it happening on my main screen and it happening on my capture screen. So if I don't get this audio timed properly, then apologies. If it's really, really bad, you'll never see this video. So we'll see. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever set this stuff up. I literally put the software in about 10 minutes ago. So we'll lie in wait and see how it goes.
Well, he's cleared it away well.
A few things to tell you about my team. I like hitting long distance shots like that one there from Ferry. I like doing little cute passes and little cute moves. I'm pretty good with corners, not so good with free kicks. I don't get that many penalties, so I don't need to worry about that one too much. And yeah, that's basically it.
Looked a bit panicky from the defender.
Is that onside? Yep. That's Fiola.
And the goalkeeper is the boss, but
wrong
it was
player
an
in the
easy
wrong
catch to
place,
deal
really.
with.
My two best players, I think, in my team, you saw them by stats, but I think in actual gameplay terms as well, are Taylor, who's just picked the ball up here on the right-hand side. He's actually left-footed, which is interesting. He's listed as a right midfielder, but he is left-footed, so he cuts inside and shoots a lot.
Taylor.
And the other one is Partington on the left-hand side, who is also left-footed. They are both lethal players. They've got a fantastic shot on them.
Positioning and the interception
They defend pretty well as well. They have good link-up with their wing-backs and the striker. That was offside, I believe, against Taylor there. But yeah, they're really impressing me at the moment. They're both young as well. I think Partington's only 22 or 23. And I think Taylor's just about turned 20. So yeah, it's really good to watch. I mean, obviously I'm playing with them as well, so I get to experience how good they are. But just sitting and watching them as well, and the way they move with the ball, and they both have unique styles, and they're both different to each other as well. They don't really work in the same way. And every now and then, if they were to swap places, it would be borderline impossible to defend against. They're both quick. They've both got quick feet. Partington is actually quite tall, so he's also pretty good in the air. But he can still play the ball on the ground. And yeah, you know, it's just good to watch. The other players up front, you saw LeQuint and Dongu. Dongu I tend to play more on the wings because of his pace. LeQuint I can play up front, although when I used to play an attacking midfielder, he used to play there as well. And he does sometimes play centre midfield because he can also play there. Mawson is more of a target man, so he can win the ball in the air and make use of it there. LeQuint is more of the pace man.
Good form today. He's playing
so he can nip in behind defenders and get the ball over the top. In fairness, he's probably the one who links up best with the two wingers as well. And Dongu, when he does play up front, he is just a speed merchant, so everything's over the top, in behind the back four, and he runs onto it and sees what he can do. What else have I missed? Danny East, he's a very offensive fullback. He and Taylor overlap quite a lot. Painter and Partington, not so much on the other side, but they do still have a really good relationship with one another. They do still do good 1-2s and little things like that. Payne is my most offensive centre midfielder. He can end up playing up front sometimes, and if my midfield makes a run into the box, it is nearly always him. That was a misplaced pass from Payne there, which is a bit of a rarity actually. He very rarely does that. Because of that, Ferry, although he's very good with long distance shooting, he tends to hold back a bit more. I think the only times really he picks the ball up and attacks fully is either a counter attack or he picks the ball up as a rebound from a set piece. Apart from that, he tends to sort of stay inside our half and doesn't really contribute that much to the attack. And Yanaris, he's just like a last line before the actual back four themselves. So if we're going forward, he provides the link between the defence and the midfield. And if we're defending, then he is sort of like the anchor man in the midfield. He's normally the one who wins the ball back the most for us.
Well, he's beaten his man. Well, he has got a chance to get the cross in.
You've probably noticed by now one of my most common forms of attack is down the line and then either pulling the ball back or crossing it in like that one, which led to a very inventive volley there from Partington. I've got two strong centre-backs, so any ball forward in the air like that tends to be dealt with quite easily by those two.
Will be a free kick.
If it does happen to get through, then the fullbacks tend to nip in behind and deal with it that way.
I mean, he's had some poor periods.
So I got a good unit going here. I didn't win the championship or come second. I did go up through the playoffs, but before then, I'd had 2 promotions from League 2, obviously, because that's where Portsmouth start. Both of them winning the league. It took me 2 years to get out of League 1. But when I did, I won by, I think it was 6 points I won the league by, which was quite impressive in the end, considering. So yeah, you know, I'm quite happy with this team. I built it on a limited budget.
So we've reached half and the game is scoreless. Let's take a look at the highlights.
I had to sell 1 or 2 players, like Ashley Harris, who you Portsmouth fans, of course, you'd know. I was forced to sell him because he was in the last 6 months of his contract and was just refusing to sign a new deal. Jed Wallace, an offer came in for him which really was too good to refuse, so I had to let him go, sadly. Which is actually how Taylor got into the squad originally, because Wallace was our first choice right midfielder, and then he got sold to Birmingham, I think it was, and then Andy Barcham took over on the right hand side from him, but then he got sold to Ipswich, I believe, or Leicester, one of the two, which then meant Taylor, who was at the time rated, I think it was either high 50s or very, very low 60s, he had to come into the squad, and he's been my first choice right midfielder ever since, really. He's just shone. He's fantastic. He scored twice on his debut. Couldn't ask for more from him, really. That's the kind of shot that you get from him. He just suddenly cuts inside and whips one with his left foot. Other players I said goodbye to. Bonzangala I actually wanted to keep, but his deal expired and we couldn't afford to offer him what he wanted, so he walked out for nothing. Someone else I've missed, Dan Butler. He wasn't in the squad anyway because Painter was my first choice left back, but a pretty decent offer came in for him, so we let him go. There's been a couple of other players that I've signed either on free transfers or for quite low amounts, and then quite a decent offers come in for them, so I've sort of basically replaced them before I've sold them, just so that I can cash in on them and bring in someone for about half the fee who's also as good. So, you know, really money-wise, I haven't missed out too much. The board have helped me twice along the way. They've given me extra money. But apart from that, it's all been either free transfers or very cheap deals. And I'm happy with my squad. I've got probably the least expensive squad in the league at the moment, but it's one that I've assembled and I know them really well. I know all the ins and outs of what they can and can't do. And it got us into the Premier League. So apart from the fact that we haven't won a match yet this season, this is only our 3rd match, as I've said, so it's not, you know, we're not exactly in panic mode just yet. It would be nice to get a first win under the belt though. You know, it's just a good thing to be back, or bringing Portsmouth back where they belong, back in the Premier League, and seeing where we can go from there. European qualification is the next goal, really, be it via the league or a cup. Winning a cup would be fantastic. I came close, I think it was 2 seasons ago when I was in League 1. I got to the semi-finals of the League Cup, but lost to, I think it was Liverpool. Yeah, I think it was Liverpool.
He's looked to change the point,
which was unlucky. Apart from that, we've done okay. That was Simon Ferry there with that header, who's making a very rare run forward, in case you were wondering. Like I said, he tends to stay camped in the half. I think it's because the ball went over onto the right-hand side of the pitch and he was one of the furthest forward at the time, so he just sort of kept his run going to see what would happen. Top scorers in the team, Taylor tends to get a few. Parsington definitely the top scorer though. I think he scored 16 goals in our promotion-winning season last year. Not to mention the amount of assists he got, which was probably near enough the same. He's an exceptional player. I'm a bit worried about him at the moment because he's in the last year of his deal. He wants about 10 times what we're paying him at the moment. And I really can't afford that at the moment. Even if I sold half the team, I probably still couldn't afford his wages. So I might have to actually sell him halfway through the year, which would be a bit of a shame.
It's a bit more than just hoofing it upfield.
But that is football for you, I suppose. I have a player on the bench who can replace him in the shape of Dogby, and Dongu can also play down that left-hand side. So if I do end up having to sell Partington, I hope that I can get the goals from elsewhere in the team, and then it won't cost us too much. I'm going to make a couple of subs now, I think. Like I said, this is just a test video, so there's no pressure on you guys to watch it all if you don't want to. If you are watching it all the way to the end, then fantastic. Thank you very much. But yeah, I just want to see if this stuff works and how it sounds and how it looks and things like that. And then yeah, if all this goes well, then I've got a couple of new series that I want to start with you guys, which hopefully will boost my channel's profile, as well as sort of broaden my own horizons as to what I can and can't do, technically speaking, and also with gaming, because there's a couple of games where I tend to play them for fun. If anyone's read any of my profiles on any of my accounts like Facebook or Twitter or things like that, I'm a social gamer. I'm not really what you'd call a hardcore gamer, so I play for fun. You know, I'm not highly skilled or highly trained or any of that nonsense.
Good control here.
I tend to just play for fun, and if I don't find it very fun, then I don't play it. So I don't spend hours on Call of Duty or Battlefield trying to perfect my game. I just play it for fun with my friends, and then
remaining in the match.
Once that's done, I put the game down and don't pick it up again until we next do a session together. So that's the ins and outs of it. So in doing these series, I hope that I can actually get better at these games, which will then make me able to produce better quality videos for you guys. I realise I'm rambling a little bit now. Just filling the time, I suppose. There's a triple subs that I wanted to do ages ago. Since we're now in the 90th minute, I kind of wanted to be making those subs about 30 game minutes ago, but hey ho, we're doing them now. Get to experience Dongu's pace at least. Oh, heavy touch. Yeah, I think that pretty much, yep, there it is, final whistle. That pretty much sums up this match. Pretty happy with how that's gone. Quite satisfied. I mean, it's another draw, I know, and it's a 0-0 draw, and you might think, oh, that's a bit boring, but I think it was, who was it I played in the first match? I think it was someone like West Ham, and I got a 0-0 draw, which was pretty bad, but pretty good, because it's first game of the season, you don't expect an absolute romp. But then it was Aston Villa I had in my second match, and I was 1-0 up at half time, and I ended up losing 3-1, so that was disappointing. So to get another draw, it's another point on the board, and it's another step away from relegation. So yeah, I'm happy with that. But that brings this episode to an end, guys. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this test works. If it has worked, then of course I'll be bringing you more of these videos. I'll be starting a new FIFA series. I will explain more about that further on when I actually get it started. Everything else, it will be continuing as normal on both the PC and, well, it is actually just a PC at the moment, isn't it? But yeah, you get the gist. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have subscribed to my channel, then thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time,